between her two big sons, to which the petty events of their life constantly gave rise. Another little circumstance too just now disturbed her peace of mind, and she was in fear of some complications, for in the course of the winter, while her boys were finishing their studies each in his own line, she had made the acquaintance of a neighbor, Madame Rosémilly, the widow of a captain of a merchantman who had died at sea 2 years before, the young widow quite young, only 23, a woman of strong intellect who knew life by instinct as the free animals do, as though she had seen, gone through, understood and weighted every conceivable contingency and judged them with a wholesome, strict and benevolent mind, had fallen into the habit of calling to work or chat for an hour in the evening with these friendly neighbors who would give her a cup of tea. Father Roland, always goaded on by his seafaring craze, would question their new friend about the departed captain, and she would talk of him and his voyages and his old world tales without hesitation, like a resigned and reasonable woman who loves life and respects death. The two sons, on their return, finding the pretty widow quite at home in the house, forthwith began to court her, less from any wish to charm her than from the desire to cut each other out. Their mother, being practical and prudent, sincerely hoped that one of them might win the young widow, for she was rich. But then she would have liked that the other should not be grieved. Madame Rosémilly was fair, with blue eyes, a mass of light waving hair fluttering at the least breath of wind, and an alert, daring, pugnacious little way with her which did not in the least answer to the sober method of her mind. She already seemed to like Jean best, attracted no doubt by an affinity of nature. This preference, however, she betrayed only by an almost imperceptible difference of voice and look, and also by occasionally asking his opinion. She seemed to guess that Jean's views would support her own, while those of Pierre must inevitably be different. When she spoke of the doctor's ideas on politics, art, philosophy or morals, she would sometimes say, "Your crotchets." Then he would look at her with the cold gleam of an accuser drawing up an indictment against women, all women poor weak things. Never till his sons came home had Roland invited her to join his fishing expeditions, nor had he ever taken his wife, for he liked to put off before daybreak with his ally Captain Beausire, a master mariner retired, whom he had first met on the quay at high tides, and with whom he had struck up an intimacy, and the old sailor Papagris known as Jean Bart, in whose charge the boat was.